All right, buckle up. We begin this hour with a Fox News alert. Hunter Biden, the president's son, has been indicted on 9 tax-related charges. 3 of them are felonies, brought to you by special counsel David Weiss yesterday.
Weiss writing, quote, "The defendant spent this money on drugs, escorts, and girlfriends, luxury hotels and rental properties, exotic cars, clothing, and other items of a personal nature. In short, everything but his taxes."
Hunter is accused of avoiding paying $1.4 million in taxes over a 4-year period. Meanwhile, President Biden has continued to deny any connection to his son's business dealings or money problems. I'll pause.
Well, it reminds me of Clinton's sort of chest poking, saying, I did not have intimate relations with that woman. I mean, basically, he's saying, I did not have interactions with those people. It didn't work for Clinton. And it's even more insulting here.
Hunter faces up to 17 years in prison on these charges. And I get the sense this investigation is not over yet.
Yeah, this is just the beginning. Let's bring in Saul Wisenberg, former Whitewater deputy independent counsel. Saul, thanks so much for joining the program. I went through the 56-page indictment. It's extensive, a lot of detail. And I guess average day Americans are saying, what took so long? Why did it take 5 years to get to this point?
Well, that's what's so interesting about it. This indictment, which is a devastating indictment, really is a complete vindication of the whistleblowers. There's no reason this indictment couldn't have been brought a year ago or 2 years ago. Remember, the whistleblowers had to fight to get this investigation continued and ultimately lost. And if it hadn't been for Judge Nareka in that federal Delaware courtroom, that hinky plea deal would have gone down. She did her job and stopped this from happening. And it's really, from a criminal defense perspective, from a white-collar crime perspective, I would really say the defense attorneys for Hunter Biden got too greedy in what they wanted from that plea deal, and that's why it blew up. It was a big mistake in how they handled this case. Could
Hunter's lawyers use this to avoid being deposed in front of House Oversight next week?
They can't use. Well, he could always take the Fifth Amendment. Mm-hmm. They're trying to avoid that, so he can. There's no extra legal reason this indictment gives them. It might be a good PR reason for them to say, you know what, he's just been indicted in a 57-page indictment, and we're just going to, as a protective measure, we're going to take the Fifth Amendment. We wouldn't have done this if he hadn't been indicted. But legally, it changes nothing. They could always have him plead the Fifth Amendment.
So, Sal, if you really want to find out how much taxes he owes, you have to probe all his businesses. There's no way they probed all those businesses because there were millions of dollars of transactions. We're just finding out the shell companies now. How aggressive do you think they'll pursue to find out what exactly he was doing? Because there is no charge of no FARA charge, acting as a foreign agent not registered, in this indictment so far. Do you think they'll continue? If you owe 1.4, if the objective is to get people to pay taxes, why wouldn't you find out exactly how much they earned?
Well, it's a different, FARA is a different crime, and it's very clear that Delaware was not really interested in going beyond the tax charges here. They were it's very clear. They had an assistant U.S. attorney who told the agents, we're not looking into anything related to Joe Biden. They wouldn't even let them find out if Joe Biden was really sitting next to Hunter Biden at the time that he told the Chinese associate, I'm sitting here with my father. They wouldn't even let them do that. You wouldn't have had to notify the press or anybody to do that. So it's just not something they pursued. I think it's very unlikely that we're going to see that from this investigation.
But why isn't there any curiosity? And the reason why I asked you this question is, you see this detailed indictment that shows all the money that he's making, and they tell you where the money is coming from. They also put in the indictment that all these business charges that he's expensing are not business charges because he wasn't doing business when he's doing all this travel. The people that he's paying the money to aren't his business associates. Why isn't there no curiosity then to say, why is he being paid? What is his job? What interests If the guy's not doing any work, why is this money coming into his account?
Well, the indictment in the beginning of it, and it depends on what tax year you're talking about, at the beginning of the indictment, it does briefly talk about the money coming in from Ukrainian sources and the money coming in from Chinese sources. But if you'll notice, it spends a lot more time talking about all of the unsavory things that Hunter Biden really spent his money on and didn't appropriately talk about on his tax return. So I would say they spend a lot more time talking about that sexy kind of stuff and not that much time talking about the foreign business dealings. But again, keep in mind, they weren't. We know this from the whistleblowers. They were not interested in looking at anything that really was a connection to Joe Biden.
Yeah. So, Saul, President Trump is going to testify next week in this New York fraud trial. He's supposed to take the stand and return to court for a second time. This trial is supposed to end, I believe it is, in January after Christmas. But David Axelrod was asked about what's happening to Hunter Biden, what's happening to Donald Trump, and he said it's going to make this campaign season very messy. Listen to this.
There's going to be a major effort to depict these as politically motivated charges. You know, it's kind of ironic because you see both sides trying to do that. In that sense, this serves Donald Trump's purposes, because he'd love to muddy the waters and suggest that the whole system is a swamp and point fingers in a lot of different directions. So it's just one more thing that's going to make it a messy campaign year.
Do you think it's politically motivated on both sides?
Well, I don't think there's any question that the New York civil fraud charges are politically motivated. You have an attorney general who campaigned on going after Donald Trump. And I think that Hunter's lawyers have said that the prosecution of Hunter is politically motivated, but I would say the opposite. The sweetheart plea deal that blew up was politically motivated, and now they're doing what they should have done and could have done months or even years ago.
So how has the defense been? How would you characterize the defense of Donald Trump, knowing they went in, the judge already ruled against him for fraud, roughly $250 million they say they're going to take from him. So he puts his defense on over the last couple of weeks. Next week he's going to hit the stand. How's he doing?
Well, keep in mind, I'm not licensed in New York, and I'm not a New York civil attorney, but I do think he got a break from the appellate division yesterday or the day before when they said, wait a minute, we're not dissolving his businesses yet, which is what the trial judge there, Ingeron, I think, wanted to do based on his fraud finding. They said, wait a minute, we haven't even reviewed this case. We're not going to let you just dissolve his businesses yet. So I think that's very good that they stayed that. And from the evidence that I've seen reported, even assuming that there were falsehoods on his financial statements, they do not appear to have been material to the people who were lending him the money. I think they put somebody on from Deutsche Bank the other day who said, we knew exactly what we were doing.
Yeah, and I was flipping around. I was watching CNN, and they said for the first time someone took the stand who's an investigator who said Donald Trump did nothing wrong.
Well, it's clear that this judge doesn't know real estate, and he doesn't know basic business as well, just by some of the readouts that we're getting from inside of the courtroom. We'll see where it goes. Saul, thanks so much for joining the program.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Have a good weekend.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.